All right, everybody, as promised, I am now showing how I make my wonderful vegetable drink. All right, so this right here, these empty bottles right here are where I actually put my vegetable drink. You notice I have about 8 of them. That usually gets me through about 2 weeks. This is the white grape juice. I suggest white grape juice in order to make the vegetable drink. I use broccoli, kale, carrots, and I usually grab 3 bags of spinach from the store. I use these baby carrots and stuff, that way they fit nicely into the containers. These bowls right here I use once I chop up my broccoli and cauliflower, goes in there. And this is kale. Normally I buy the kale in a bag like I do with the spinach as well, but this time when we went to the store, they didn't have the kale in the bag, so I had to buy these bushels right here. I don't do anything special with these. I don't even cut them up. I just take them, crumble them up, and then put them right in there. Now this is the evolution of how I went through my Magic Bullet series, or my Nutri-Bullets. I bought the Magic Bullet first, and that was way too small. You'll notice how small this little dinky thing is. Pretty much that was only good for making, maybe one cup, 1/2 a cup of something, and at a time. That was way too small. Now I got the Nutri-Bullet 600. This is the one right here, and that held me for a good 6 to 8 months. But the RPMs on this thing are not very high, and so sometimes it wouldn't grind up all the vegetables and stuff clean and nice and clean. So I upgraded to the Nutri-Bullet 900. You'll notice I have 2 of them. That way I can make twice as much vegetable drink at a time. The normal person only needs 1 because they probably won't make as many as I do, which is 8 of them at a time. But if you want to maximize the amount of time that you're doing, I suggest you definitely get 2. That way you can make multiple batches at the same time. Plus, these things will overheat. So if you sit there and you make about 10 or 12 of these things at a time, one after the other, without allowing it to have a break, they will burn out. Now they don't blow up or anything, but they shut off for a while they cool down. So I guess that's an automatic feature that's within the Nutri-Bullet that helps people out a whole lot. And so pretty much this is what I use. There's only one thing that's missing, and that is my funnel. So I use a funnel in order to put my vegetable drink inside of these bottles right here, and that's pretty much all that I have. So I'm gonna get to cutting up my vegetables and stuff, and then I'll get this timer going, and you guys can see how I do it. All right, so first I like to set up my bottles and stuff in here. I'm gonna go ahead and start this timer. So I'm right at about 8 minutes of prep time for getting the vegetables and stuff in there. You'll notice that these containers, this container right here is kind of small. This one right here is much bigger, and I'm going to pop those out. That way you can see them a little closer. So the Nutri-Bullet 600 normally comes with these small ones right here. The Nutri-Bullet 900 comes with these. I suggest that anybody who wants to make large quantities, gets this, because the container is much bigger. You can fit more stuff, which means that you spend a whole lot less time making vegetable drink than not. So I'm going to use these 2 big guys instead of the small ones, so that way I can reduce the amount of time I'm sitting in here. And again, here's my cabinet that I use to store all my Nutri-Bullet stuff. So that goes in there because I don't use that anymore. All right, so right now we're at 25 minutes. All right, so now you're seeing pretty much, I have 8 of my normal vegetable drinks that I have, and then you'll notice that most of the vegetables are pretty much gone. The kale is gone, the majority of the broccoli is gone, the cauliflower is gone. I have about a little bit of this much left of the spinach. What I normally do is I have way less vegetables, or I have way less of these type of vegetables in the kids one that I make, because the kids don't like to chew it, they don't like the texture of it. So in order to encourage them to drink more of the vegetable drink, I usually give them the ones that have the least amount of textured vegetables as possible. That way, when they drink it, they think they're just drinking juice. So this is pretty much the last bit of vegetable drink that I can make with the amount of product that I bought. And you guys can see, you know, it's pretty much repetitious. Once you get the amounts that you want in each of the batches, you pretty much just repeat the same process with every cup that you create. And I know there may be some people who might frown upon using, you know, white grape juice or any type of juice inside the vegetable drink because of the amount of calories that might be inside of juice and the sugars and things like that. But you know, I'm not saying I'm the authority on making vegetables at all. You know, but this is what works for me. This is what works for my family. So I do white grape juice. I've tried it with the mineral water, or just putting water in there and trying to sweeten it up with fruits and things like that for natural sugars. But basically, I tried it and I wound up throwing up because I did not have the right combination of sweetness to it, and it pretty much, you know, tasted too much like vegetables, and I just could not stomach it. So this is what I found that works for me after some trial and error, and so, you know, this is what I stick with. As promised, I'm not quite sure you can see this. I'll tilt it up to the camera. So, as promised, a little under an hour, a little under 60 minutes to complete my vegetable drink extravaganza and get my armada of vegetable drink up and ready for me to consume. Like I said, it's not hard work. About an hour. Like I said, I make my vegetable drink to sustain me for 2 weeks at a time. You know, at your own home, you might just do 1 week. You might just do 2 or 3 days. You know, depending on your tolerance for getting the job done. After about a week and a half is when you want to start making sure that you rotate your vegetable drink. in the refrigerator. So if you leave it there just to sit without rotating it, it will start to ferment because there's vegetables and juice sitting inside of the container being still the entire time. So if you roll them every 2 or 3 days, or take them out and shake them up a little bit every 2 or 3 days, then that should keep them nice and good for you to keep eating for the rest of the time. And you shouldn't have any problem with it going bad. All right, so one final look. This right here is what winds up coming out of the bag of groceries that I created with the broccoli, kale, cauliflower, carrots. What else did I have in there? Broccoli, kale, cauliflower, carrots, and white grape juice. This is what comes out of it. 8 bottles right here, and the bottles are size 96 ounces or 3 quarts. So 8 of those, sometimes 9, depending on how I portion out the amounts. The one that's weaker, without the abundance of broccoli and cauliflower and stuff, and the hard textures, I usually leave for my kids. That way they kind of just drink it like it's juice. And then this is how much white grape juice I go through for 2 weeks. And so, about 5.5 is about the max. These are the containers that I usually carry my vegetable drink in. So after these things have had a chance to cool in the refrigerator for 24 hours at least, in the morning I fill up 2 of these to take with me, and I drink on these all day for my vegetable drink. This one I put nothing but ice and water in, and this one I have ice and water in. That way I get in as much water as I can for my daily allowance of water. All right. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to try and email me. If you know me, call me on my phone. I'll give you some more pointers and tips. Again, subscribe to the channel. Keep visiting for new and updated content, things like that. Give me a shout out. Let everybody know you like me by giving me a thumbs up and like button and all that other good stuff. All right. Peace out.